Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Kaiserredux as New England. Let us continue on from where we last left off. So, we are finally going to be becoming a free of Canada, no longer being a Canadian puppet, which is nice for us. It's going to give us a little bit more support, even though clearly we don't need it. We're already at 100%. But the question is, after we're done this, what do we do? Because we have two options. Either we rush our way straight towards an invasion of the CSA by going for Lovecraft America, or we start going down towards these more unique options, I would say. Mostly just to get those massive, like, 20%. No, not even 20. 39% attack boost, 20% defense boost. They're pretty good. They're pretty good options. And I think... well, what we could do is we could get our Casus Belli and then do all the other stuff. No, that doesn't make any sense. If we get a Casus Belli first, then the CSA AI is going to be on our border the entire time, which kind of removes the element of surprise. We kind of don't want that to happen. So we're probably just going to go get our very good upgrades and then invade the CSA. I think that makes the most amount of sense. Because what's the alternative? The alternative is we attack the CSA, we take over, let's say, Pennsylvania, like this northwestern region. This is not northwest, it's like northeast. We took over like this region here. The American Union State and the Pacific States will keep fighting each other until I decide once again to intervene. Probably invade the American Union State. Oh, I did that. No. Or would we attack the Pacific States first? Because they already have the backing of the Canadians. So I'm not too sure who would actually be the better choice here. Because Mexico is totalist, they will be able to intervene in the American Civil War if the CSA starts to lose. I believe that is the option. We have to be worried about that. But I guess, actually, Mexico is on the border with the American Union State and the Pacific States. So we kind of don't need to worry about them that much. At least not right now. In the future, maybe. But for right now, I think we're completely A-okay. It is August 938, so we're still about a year away from the Second Weltkrieg actually beginning. You're gonna be done soon. I mean, again, we could embrace the darkness, but I think that's just bad for us, unfortunately. It's kind of just like the worst choice we have here. So next is, in order for us to do even Into the Shadows, we need Eldritch Signs and Cult of Providence. The stability boost would be nice. Organization plus 5%, that's fine. So what else do you use? Stability plus 5%, a lot more political power gain, more war support, more stability? Negative? No, okay, yeah, 10% more stability. Even more defense. You know what? We'll get Delta Green. Go down to Cult for Providence. And yeah, that should be good. Okay, distance is available. We can leave the IEDC, which doesn't, I think, make a lot of sense. We are still in the Entente, and I actually don't think we have the option to even leave if we wanted to. Especially since we're at war. I don't think you can really leave factions, even when you're at war. I said that's not true, because in our World Conquest campaign, we were able to kick countries out when we were at war with them. But it's fine, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. United Front has formed. Is that against Japan? It's against Japan and also against Mongolia. We'll see how that kind of works out for those guys. So we'll get your supplies here. We don't need the war propaganda. We definitely also don't want to leave the IEDC. I don't think it really makes much sense. Delhi is definitely going to die. Which should mean that the Entente's going to pull out of India altogether. Because I think as soon as they... like, there should be an event firing soon for them to kind of leave anyways. It should happen sooner or later. Especially since they... have they actually capitulated properly? No, they actually need 10%. So they take over, you know, one of these cities, probably just here. They could get that done. And we don't really care too much about India. We don't really care too much about the Entente just as a faction. It doesn't really affect us too much. You guys are still at war. Austria is still at war with Illyria and it's Legionary Italy as well. You're probably gonna be killed. So we'll see what you guys can do. Like, can Illyria and Slovenia just completely annex? Can they just completely annex the Austro-Hungarian Empire? That'd be like an interesting turn of fate where all of this is just becoming Croatian. You know, you guys do whatever you feel like. We do need some more steel. And we need this. Is it just for the convoys? If you do it this way, yeah, it's just for convoys. And I don't care too much about the convoys. I'm sure it does matter, but does it really matter? Thank you for whatever the hell that was. We can start producing a little bit of artillery. The artillery will be useful once we want to start improving our divisions in the future. Oh, so the 100 command power. Cannot upgrade any of you. I do have my kind of trash navy. Can I upgrade you? I can. Sword efficiency. You're an air controller. You actually make no sense to have here. Capital ship, capital ship. Submarine attack plus 20%. Absolutely, let's have you on board. Screen penetration plus 25%, or let's just reveal torpedoes less. Oh, you guys can get another one as well. And you know what? Less shooting more often probably makes the most amount of sense. I mean, I know our Navy is 3 submarines and that's it. But 3 submarines, you know, everybody's got to start somewhere, and I feel like that is an okay place to begin. Yeah, especially in such a small country here. Still need a little bit more steel for you as well. But we're making submarines at, I would say, a decent rate. How much is our penalty right now? Only a 1.4% modifier. Which really isn't that bad. We're making 2 a month. Roughly. About 2 a month. I feel like that's pretty good for us. Only New York City has oil in it. Let me go back to resources. Yeah, there's actually some oil in, You have actually oil all over the north. Is that just in Kaiserredux? I feel like that's not normally in the, Do they always have oil? Am I out of my mind? I don't know. Potentially, yes. You're actually 49-day focus. You're actually a little bit expensive compared to most of this stuff. These are also 35 days. So just those 2 little paths are worth 49 days. I'm not too sure why. Well, you should be... Because we also, like, we're doing all this stuff. There is other things we can do. We can't do any of this because we're not democratic. We can deploy the WASP for 15,000 manpower. Your stability plus 15%, which isn't bad. But I think we're going to get a lot more stability boost in our, you know, unique focus tree. So I really don't think America's Darkest Hour matters too much. And legitimacy we cannot even increase because we're not democratic. Air Force, Navy. The Infrastructure Act, I think, still makes a lot of sense to do. President, we get the steel and a little bit of, like, the synthetic oil. More attack and defense on core territory. Plus 1% recruit population is not bad. What else do we have in here? Reconnaissance. Just 2,000 rifles. 2,000 rifles, so isn't, like, that great. Defensive New England, Arsenal of Democracy. I mean, I don't know if I really consider New England at the moment to be very democratic, but you know what? You say so. Yeah, let's get the Cult of Providence. Get our stability boost up even higher. It's going to give us more factory output, more dockyard output, as well as a little bit more organization. And you're just missing rubber. And you know what? We'll import a small amount of rubber. I think that seems okay, because it'll allow us to upgrade our Air Force slightly. Yeah, so we'll put you guys in heater. Also, you crank you up to 300. It's going to be a tiny Air Force. 25 planes compared to a couple of hundred from every single faction. Not ideal. Even Canada actually only has 215, which is also bad. They're not great numbers there. We'll do air superiority. Who else are we at war with? Princely Federation, Bahari Commune, and Puerto Rico. And you did take... Okay, they have now capitulated. So maybe soon you will no longer be at war over here, because you're really just losing men for no good reason. Just having to be completely surrounded. The Ottoman Empire, I think, should win their war. The Paranormal Combat Squads. As New England is further gripped by the paranormal enemy, more and more drastic measures must be taken to ensure the safety of our nation. One choice action has been taken to create the so-called Paranormal Combat Squads by the brass of the Delta Green. These Paranormal Combat Squads are large brigades of scientists and exorcists who are equipped with dealing with ghosts, poltergeists, and other spirits. These combat ghosts, nicknamed Ghostbusters, can deal with a wide-scale paranormal activity and deal with it quickly, while keeping the public calm and in blissful denial. So far, there have not been seen too much action. However, the higher-ups in Delta Green hope that they do get used more often, as the explicit purpose of the organization is to fight the unknown supernatural forces plotting against us. While there is something strange in New England, apparently there's ghosts. But if there's like demons and ghosts and like elder world gods, we're going to try to embrace them instead of fighting them. Yeah, so that is the peace event with you done. Sorry, are you still at? Because you only got... Yeah, so it actually only caused peace with the Party of Commune. Not with the Princely Federation, because I'm assuming the Princely Federation just doesn't hold Delhi. Which is a little bit strange, but whatever. Again, we're not sending troops to India, so it doesn't affect us too much. The X Brigade. Exists within our world are forces beyond our understanding or reasoning. While some might dismiss them, we accept them and attempt to find out more. A former FBI agent by the name of Mulder, who now serves in Delta Green, has approached Lovecraft with discussing a subject of otherworldly beings contacting New England. With him are the so-called X-Files, which apparently proved that the old federal government was hiding the existence of extraterrestrial life. These revelations, if shown to the public, would shake the world to its core, so keeping the existence of any extraterrestrial life under wraps is something of the utmost importance. As we're talking with Lovecraft, Mulder has suggested the creation of the X Brigade to help deal with the existence of alien life forms. Forming it would be a serious drain of public money, spent on something that may not even be real. However, Lovecraft's beliefs is way beyond, may sway him to fund the ambitious new project. Of course we're going to create the X Brigade. For sure. I'm assuming that's an X-Files reference, because it's explicitly stated in the flavor text. Haven't seen the show. Never will see the show. I think Mulder's like the main character, though. Maybe. Can't modify our government. 173 political power. What do we want to do? What would we do? Let's get an Air Force guy. I guess just the air superiority, because I don't see anybody there is actually for close combat. Yes, I know we're not doing anything with the total artillery. Just slowly keep making them. That's all you got to do. Also, what are you? You're no mission? Did I not assign you here? Yeah, just go over the fly over the Mid-Atlantics. I know it's costing us a little bit of oil to do this. It's costing us 14, actually. That's less than our daily gain by default. I think we're fine with that. We did get excavation up and running. And still 1938. Doing for like the 1940 techs is a little expensive. You know, let's go for the 1936 light tank. Seems like an okay choice. And yeah, we now have just enough steel, which should be good for our convoy production, should be good for our submarine production. The 107 convoys isn't a ton. It's not nothing, but it's also, you know, not a ton. So Austria and Venice have taken states. The SRI got absolutely nothing out of the deal. We'll see if they... I mean, they might go to war with the Kingdom of Sicily down here. They might go to war with the Pope. We'll see what they actually end up doing. Because I think they can also just attack Venice. A 1940 tech for artillery that we don't actually have. Let's just go for you. Upgrade the artillery production. That seems good. And now you've all formed together into the Italian Federation, which might actually see the SRI just declare war on it again. Can it actually do it twice? It technically declared it on Legionnaire Italy. Now the Italian Federation is back, and I believe they share the same tag. So can he declare war against it twice? Maybe? Which could lead to an international Entente war. The Project Bluebook gets results. As Lovecraft dictates more effort into finding extraterrestrial life, the more results are found. After citing many locals off the highway in Vermont, the X Brigade and the so-called Men in Black were sent to investigate. Upon arrival, they found what might be a saucer crash into a nearby valley. The Men in Black quickly dispersed the crowd while the X Brigade secured the surrounding areas, but the men soon realized that the cover-up was not as easy as expected, and the saucer appeared to be 2 or 3 times larger than originally estimated. The massive craft was first dug out from the ground, while almost a brigade of loyal National Guard units sworn to secrecy in Providence's elite guard loaded the craft onto a fleet of heavy trucks and drove it to a secluded area under the dead of night. Once they've housed the craft in a vast hangar, Lovecraft and his closest confidants went to Vermont for a visit to the alien craft. The question now is on everybody's mind is what to do with the craft. So we can either crack it open, we get a 50-50 chance of either something good or something bad, or we just lose political power. We gotta see what leaves inside if you play with fire. As a brigade of scientists try to crack open a mysterious aircraft, spacecraft. They failed time and time again. Hammers, chisels, power tools, and even torches at 100,000 degrees, nothing could make anything more than a dent. As they grew more desperate, they resorted to firing artillery shells at the craft in the hopes of breaking it open. Their mighty technology might have kept us off them for a while, but we eventually managed to pull through. Unfortunately, as soon as the craft opened, poisonous gas spilled out and filled the hangar, killing all inside. And within an hour, the spacecraft detonated and caused an explosion that did not just level the hangar, it almost managed to flatten a nearby town. Covering up the disaster may not be easy, as the people were already asking questions. The one level of infrastructure damage, 300 manpower, and 100 political power getting lost does suck. But I mean, you have to take the chance, right? You gotta. You can't just do nothing. The Portuguese are also arriving. I don't know why the Canadians, or really the Entente in general, are sending so many troops to this front. I mean, I guess the CSA is their biggest threat. I mean, Pacific States are doing okay. Well, we're invading whoever is left over, for sure. They also have like 500,000 manpower, which is pretty strong, I would say. Do not, let's actually get you. Duplicate. We'll throw in one level of support artillery in you. Train up 2 of you guys, and you will be deployed as well in just wherever near the front line is fine. We do have 11 divisions. And 11 divisions is okay. Again, it's definitely more than I thought we would have at this point in the game. Scotland has joined the Internationale. So England, or the United Union of Britain, has broken up into a handful of smaller states, which does make the invasion of England significantly easier, just because the Scotland and Wales just won't have enough troops deployed to really stop invasions of the country. So I mean, that's something to note for the future. Exploration into the paranormal. Lovecraft has always had a powerful belief in spiritualism. With his iron grip on the government, he has authorized the creation of special branches within Delta Green, specifically dedicated to the paranormal and spiritual. With this new branch, you will delve into the vast depths and unknown. The vast unknown of the afterlife will finally be explored, and the secrets of life and death will finally be revealed. While some in Lovecraft government may not be happy with the waste of tax money, their opinions do not matter to Lovecraft. His word is law, and nobody dare says otherwise. So find out what we got. Lovecraft has been immortalized, his actions praised by all. He is Providence, the supreme leader of all New England. From Portland to Augusta, from Boston to Burlington, his image must be preserved and celebrated for decades to come. That'll be done in one more day. The stability boost is nice. Okay, yeah, so the SRI has just invaded the Italian Federation. So it means we're going to be at war with the Austrians. Like a year before, not a year, probably like 6 months before the actual Second Weltkrieg. It could give the Internationale a very strong boost. Because if they can take over the entire Austro-Hungarian Empire, the invasion of Germany is very, very easy at that point. We'll see kind of like what happens there. But of course, we're going to go for a new political machine. Because you're still at war. No, you took over territory from Austria. Okay. I mean, they're still fighting Illyria as well. So they're going to be fighting a massive front here. Do you even have an army? You have 4 to 16 divisions? Okay. The Shadow over Innsmouth. When Providence originally began the process of rewriting of his novella, Shadow over Innsmouth, into a more substantial tome, it was merely to satisfy the demand of his followers to expand on its themes and motives to better immerse the reader in Lovecraft's world-building and philosophy following his breakout success. With the rise into prominence and political dominance, however, the Shadow over Innsmouth has undergone a beautiful and terrifying transformation, not unlike that of the deep ones of the titular Innsmouth itself. Consisting of 2 parts, the first half of the book is written from the perspective of the narrator and essentially consists of various cursed poems, curated poems, not cursed, letters and speeches previously written by Providence. Several passages have been addressed directly to the reader on the nature of New England heritage and narrator's personal philosophy, who is clearly a stand-in for Providence himself. It is generally understood that this first section exists purely to equip the reader with essential knowledge and build their mental fortitude for the second half. The story then rapidly unravels into an epic tale and deep dive into the very heart of Lovecraft's mythos. It is an autobiography, a fabricated story, a description of godhood, equal parts truth and lie, a how-to guide for hypothesis, a profane poem, holy scripture, an apology for Lovecraft's actions, a profane gesture to those who have questioned his or New England's legitimacy, an explanation of how a meek and patient man could rise to such greatness. It is once a terrifying look into the mind of Providence, a guide to how to become like him, an intense, disturbing, and immersive story that would take a lifetime to process fully. The weaker minds have driven the madness by Providence magnum opus. Those capable of finishing his work without losing themselves emerge fundamentally changed. 100 political power, so it actually does at least counteract the penalty we took the first time around. I do appreciate a great deal. But I'd still also just like to invade the CSA. How many boats do you guys have? 22 to 50? I mean, that is a decent sized navy. And we have 4 more divisions. Send them to the front lines. Beautiful. And you have your artillery. Most of the artillery, actually. So you should be good to go for the future. But I do think that this is going to be a good time for us to end this episode here. So thanks so much for watching. My name is Anthem. If you've enjoyed, remember thumbs up. If you're not enjoying, click thumbs down. Remember to subscribe, and goodbye.